It's your girl, Mrs. Tony Two Times, and I'm back with another episode of Hood Tales. In this video, let's take it to Canton, Ohio, to discuss the case of an obsessed and jealous woman who framed her ex in order to get rid of his new girlfriend. But before we get into this video, please hit that like button. Also, make sure you subscribe if you haven't already and join the Tony Two Times family. Tap that notification bell so you don't miss any future uploads. Also, this video is sponsored by me, Mrs. Tony Two Times, and my YouTube channel. Make sure you check it out and support me. I'll leave the link to it in the description box. And be sure to share this video with everyone you know. Stay tuned until the end to hear all the details. All right, let's get into it. Some people are born with an undeniable light, a presence that warms every room they enter. Tiara Burch was one of those rare souls, a daughter, a student, a friend, and a woman whose life was filled with laughter, love, and ambition. But on a quiet January evening in Canton, Ohio, all of that came to a sudden and tragic end. Born on June 28, 1995, in Canton, Ohio, Tiara Burch grew up surrounded by love. She was a vibrant young woman with a big smile and an even bigger heart. An avid swimmer, Tiara was known for her undeniable talent on McKinley High School's varsity swim team. She glided through the water with ease, just as she glided through life, winning the hearts of everyone she met. After graduation, she continued her journey at Stark State College, where she pursued early childhood education. Teaching was more than just a career goal. It was her passion. She adored children, and they adored her right back. Those who knew her spoke of her as someone who was kind to everyone, forgiving to a fault, and deeply loyal to her friends. She was the kind of person you wanted in your corner. Social, outgoing, full of life, Tiara even joined her father's motorcycle club just to be closer to him. At heart, she was a proud daddy's girl. On the morning of Wednesday, January 19th, 2022, Tiara sent a simple text to her father at 6:49 a.m. She told him she wasn't feeling well. Concerned, her father stopped by after work to drop off some medicine. But when he got there, something felt off. No one answered the door. Her phone went straight to voicemail. He knocked, called, nothing. It wasn't like Tiara to just disappear, and when none of her friends had heard from her either, panic set in. One neighbor reported something odd, seeing a tall man driving her car and someone leaving with a laundry basket. At 7:20 p.m., Canton police responded to a wellness check at Tiara's apartment on 11th Street Northwest. Her father and brother waited anxiously outside. Once the landlord arrived, officers unlocked the door. What they found inside was every family's worst nightmare. Tiara was gone. She had been stabbed 52 times in her own bedroom. The room smelled heavily of bleach, a failed attempt to erase an evil, vicious crime. Officers tried to block her father and brother from seeing the scene, but the damage was already done. Not long after her body was discovered, Tiara's father received a chilling text message. It came from her phone. The words were simple, yet sinister. "Sorry about your daughter. Know the game." It was clear this wasn't random. It was personal. Whoever did this was truly evil and wanted Tiara's family to suffer. With time ticking and emotions high, investigators began piecing together what happened. Surveillance footage from around the city revealed a key clue: a yellow car circling Tiara's apartment in the early morning hours. Police asked her family about her boyfriend. His name was Vincent Ryan. Her dad mentioned the last thing he knew, Vincent was locked up. Police confirmed that was true. Vincent was in jail for aggravated burglary. But Vincent insisted he was being framed. He claimed 2 ex-girlfriends, Asia Lindsay and another woman named Taylor, had a vendetta against him. And he was adamant that one of them had something to do with what happened to Tiara. Detectives dug into the burglary case that had Vincent behind bars. The report had been filed by a man named Jeffrey James, and the supposed victim was Taylor. But when police compared surveillance footage to known images of Taylor, it didn't match. Taylor herself told investigators she never filed a report and had no idea what was happening. The woman on the video? Asia Lindsay, Vincent's other ex. Asia had used Jeffrey James to file a false police report along with her associate, Jamal Bullock, Jeffrey's former roommate. A plan was taking shape, and Tiara was the final fatal piece. That yellow car seen around Tiara's apartment, it was registered to Asia Lindsay. More surveillance captured 2 individuals leaving the apartment multiple times between 3:42 and 8:20 a.m., carrying what appeared to be items in a laundry basket. One of them, identified as Jamal, wore the same shoes he had on in the earlier precinct footage. The pieces of this sinister plot were all coming together. Asia Lindsay was arrested 48 hours after Tiara was found. Calm, composed, almost detached. Initially, Asia claimed that she had nothing to do with what happened to Tiara. But once she was confronted with video evidence, she changed her story. She claimed she had an airtight alibi, that she was tied up in her basement for some sort of kinky session with a timer set to release her hours later. Investigators didn't buy it. The story was too bizarre, too convenient. Jamal was also arrested. At first, he also denied any involvement. But then, Jamal cracked. Jamal told investigators the truth. He thought he and Asia were just going to Tiara's apartment to steal some things. He didn't know Asia had something darker in mind. He said Asia stabbed Tiara over and over and over again. Afterward, Asia used Tiara's phone to send messages, to throw off suspicion, to torment her grieving father. She carried out her belongings in a laundry basket. Cold, calculated, and cruel. Vincent Ryan was released. Every charge against him cleared. But the trauma, the betrayal, the loss, that can never be undone. In September 2022, just a week before her trial, Asia Lindsay pled guilty to all charges related to Tiara's slaying. She was sentenced to 20 years to life in prison. A month later, Jamal Bullock pled guilty to involuntary manslaughter and received 20 to 25 years. May Tiara Burch continue to rest in peace. She was a light in this world. She didn't deserve the pain she endured. She didn't deserve to have her life stolen by obsession, jealousy, and manipulation. She wanted to teach, to live, and instead, she became the victim of a twisted, calculated plan by someone who weaponized lies and jealousy to destroy something beautiful. To Tiara's family, friends, and loved ones, we send you our deepest condolences and well wishes, and we will not forget her name. Tiara's story reminds us that evil never sleeps. It never finds peace. It's always lurking, looking to devour and destroy. Sometimes you don't even know that it's coming. Asia has a dark and evil spirit. To devise such a sinister plan and involve innocent people, friends, and acquaintances shows how narcissistic and manipulative she is. Asia Lindsay is the type of person I hope to never cross paths with. Fam, tell me your thoughts on this heartbreaking story in the comments below. All right, fam, that's it for this episode of Hood Tales. Thank you so much for watching. If this story moved you, consider liking and sharing. Subscribe for more stories like this and for the stories behind the headlines, because behind them all is a family forever changed. This is your girl, Mrs. Tony 2 times. Until next time.